Welcome, everyone, to the Holstein House podcast. I'm the West Virginia woman, Robin, of RobinHolstein.com and Holstein House, where my guests get a great night's sleep at a fair rate plus breakfast. This is a podcast that looks at society and culture issues affecting families in West Virginia and the United States, from food preparation and storage, gardening, home repairs, current events, and more. We'll go around the table and back in 60 minutes or less. So let's hang out and talk a while. Good Tuesday morning, all y'all. It is episode 123 of the Holstein House broadcast. It's December the 12th, 2023. And the broadcast today will be talking about a little bit about government and EMPs, our United States government, and an EMP project that I read about yesterday. Harvest Guard reusable lids and seals, and other things of interest to me and you if you chime in and ask about it. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you very much. I was looking at my numbers a little while ago, and they look fairly respectable for a small little program like mine, and I do appreciate you. I am noticing that the iTunes downloads are showing up higher in the percentages now. Fountain.fm is by far the gorilla in the room as far as my podcast audience, but iTunes has creeped up there and is now within the top 5. So I do appreciate that. Do appreciate all you guys all over the world who swing by and say hello to me from time to time and share the things that are going on with you and in your part of the world. And if you are on the podcast, I encourage you to say hello. I'd love to be able to put a screen name of some sort with your comments and with the numbers. I've got a little bit of the inhaler weirdness going on again today. And I apologize for that. The doctor did prescribe this. It's called a spacer. It looks real. It looks a little vulgar, but you put it on the end of the inhaler, and so that you get all of the medication in. I kind of thought maybe it would bypass some of the whatever that's making me hoarse, but not today. It didn't. So I may not be. He told me I had to be sure and rinse my mouth after using the inhaler, and maybe I'm not doing that right. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? It's hard to tell. Oh, good morning, everybody. So there's it's wrong. The year is ticking down, and we've only got a couple weeks left in December, which is obviously the last few months of the year, and we hope we can bring you some good conversation, good information today, as well as any day. And of course, it works a little better when you chime in there too. So we do appreciate your participation when you are able to swing by and say hello. There's not a lot of exciting things going on right now. We've got the calendar off. I'm taking this week off from a lot of things. No Bible study, no lunch and learns, no medical appointments. I do have to go to town, though, much as I hate it. I have to do our bank deposits this week. And unfortunately, every stinking bank we have is in Charleston. So I have to drive to Charleston to do that. I want to make sure I get those deposits made this week. And I do have the matter of that fix-it ticket that I haven't fixed yet, that I only have a few more days left to do. I didn't have an inspection sticker. West Virginia requires an inspection sticker on your vehicles. And I get it. I get why the rule was enacted, because you had people driving down the road, parts falling off and stuff, causing accidents, and just generally no brakes and things, and just an unsafe vehicle to have on the road. And so we passed this legislation, I don't know when, that mandated an inspection sticker. And while they have made the inspection sticker 2-year stickers now instead of 1-year stickers, they also doubled the price of the stickers. So it still costs about the same to get it for 2 years instead of 1. But anyway, I had to replace the windshield in the little red Fiat. Oh gosh, I don't know when it was. And I didn't get a new inspection sticker. And I do this every now and again. I go through windshields. I don't go through them. I'm not the one breaking them. I have more windshields break than Carter has liver pills. I mean, every year we're breaking a windshield or 2. And not necessarily shattering it, but you'll get a little spider web crack in it. Or I did have one that a pebble or something hit, and this was on my truck, hit fairly low, down right about where the windshield wipers sit. And I was traveling back from Virginia Tech. I'd been down there speaking to a group of administrative professionals when I was president of the West Virginia division of the International Association of Administrative Professionals. This was a lifetime ago, it seems. And I was traveling back from a meeting down there where I was doing a presentation, and I got something hit the windshield. Of course, you never see what it is. You just jump when you hear the noise. And so then there's this little crack, little spot. And I thought, that cracked my windshield. And then as I'm driving back from Virginia Tech, I'm thinking, is that line getting longer? And I had to stop for fuel. And when I stopped, I took a pen and I marked the glass. And hang on just a second. I got a call. Sorry about that. But I took a pen and I marked where the edge of that crack was. And so I kept driving, and every few minutes I glance over, and sure enough, this thing was traveling. The crack in the windshield was traveling, and by the time I got home, it was 3/4 of the way across the bottom of the windshield. And when I went to have the windshield replaced, the guy at the windshield place said, "You should have brought this in as soon as it happened." I said, "I was driving home. It cracked this far before I got home. It didn't matter. I would have had to stop at the side of the road and called you to prevented this from driving," because I really was aggravated because he talked to me like, like I had, purposely waited and let it get as bad as it did. It got that bad very quickly. But anyway, my truck does that. I don't know if it's the stress from the shape, the angle of the windshield or what, but I've gone through several windshields there just from getting a little gravel hit it, and then the crack traveling clear across. So anyway, I didn't have the inspection sticker because they scraped the old one off. You can't replace it or anything like that. So when they took the windshield out, I didn't have an inspection sticker, and I just didn't go get one. And so it took several months. But I did get busted by a city cop in the city of Charleston. And he wouldn't have pulled me over except my license plate was dead too. So there's that. Yay. Dead license plates, dead stickers. It's always something in it. The government always needs a little more money. And eventually you're living off $5 a month and they're getting 95. So I want good things. I want the government to protect me and keep me safe. But I don't need them in every little bit of things I do. Oh, hot coffee. I love coffee. Where was I? Oh, so anyway, I was trying not to go to Charleston, but I'm going to have to. So I got to take in proof of the inspection sticker and proof of registration and proof of insurance. I can take all that stuff in to the city of Charleston just to avoid getting the fine associated with the ticket. They'll drop the whole thing if I take proof in there, and I just have been dragging my feet. I got to get it done before it's too late. All right. So other than that, I was trying to stay home all week and just chill and just do some videos. I did get, by the way, I did get a video up. Did I have it up before I talked to you Friday? I don't remember if I had it up before I talked to you Friday or not, but I did. No, I don't think I did. Friday, I did a video on cutting up a whole turkey. I think I shared with you that I was going to do the video. I did it. I got it edited. It's just a 20-minute one, so it didn't take too much time. I was able to purchase turkey, whole frozen butterball turkey, for 50 cents a pound. So I got it's a little just shy of 12-pound bird for $6. And that, 50 cents a pound for any meat, any protein is an exceptionally good price. And so I wanted to share with folks how to cut up a bird and put it in the freezer. And so I was going to roast the breast anyway for the church Christmas dinner on Saturday, and I did that. So the rest of the bird I put in the freezer, and I'm going to cook that later. I may do a video on grinding up the meat for like ground turkey, because people like ground turkey. I'm not a big fan, but other people do like ground turkey. Making soup or just canning the turkey meat. So I did do that. I did get that up, and I felt good about getting that up in decent time. And because I haven't been able to keep up with my videos like I need to. And I did get that one done on Friday. Dad came over, and I was glad that he got himself out, that he drove himself over. He came over. We did his INR test, and I trimmed his hair for him. And he actually made it to our Christmas dinner, which I was glad. And then he didn't come to church, which I was not glad. But I think he probably did too much in those 2 days. And we're still waiting to hear. Actually, I need to make that phone call today about his injections. As far as we haven't received not the first notice of when his injections are supposed to be. So I do need to call over to the spine clinic and find out what's going on there. And let's see. Oh, so then we had the church dinner. It went really well. We had a really respectable turnout. Everyone ate their fill. We didn't have that much food left over. We did have some, so we know that everybody ate till they were content, and had a good Advent service and communion on Sunday. And so I just kind of wanted to rest a little bit and not go anywhere. But I still have to. But, that's all right. The asthma, the inhaler showed up. Well, I shouldn't say show up. I took the prescription to Walmart. Walmart didn't have the particular inhaler, the Air Supra. I did get a text message on Saturday while I was at the church getting ready for the dinner that it was available at the pharmacy. The weird thing about it is that the doctor wrote it for 3 refills. And they didn't put any refills on the prescription on the carton. But they had to order the not the extender. What's it called? Anyway, they had to order it, and they put 3 refills on it. So I need to take a stop by the Walmart pharmacy and say, how can I need 3 refills on this thing that you just wash and not have 3 refills on the actual medication? This makes no sense. So I'm going to have to go talk to them and watch them say, do you have to call your doctor? I guarantee that's probably what it's going to be. So anyway, the cold air is aggravating my asthma a little bit, but I haven't been out that much in it. We had a pretty cold day yesterday. It's pretty frosty out there this morning. The surface of the duck water was probably about a ½ inch froze. But I was able to break it up with a shovel, so it's no big deal. The ducks are doing just ducky. The chickens are not laying. I haven't had a chicken egg in 3 days now. Even my even my leghorns aren't laying, so they're taking their break. Again, for those of you who aren't aware, I don't artificially light my coop. So I just kind of don't think I should be doing that. They just need to relax and have their winter time off. So there's nothing going on in the garden. There's nothing going on with the chickens and the ducks. There's nothing going on with, Bob did get in the trash and turn the trash over, which is Bob the dog, which is unusual for him. But I guess the turkey bones were just too much for him. And this dog who's allergic to poultry ate quite a bit of turkey bones yesterday. I wasn't happy. He got scolded and sent to bed. So he did not like being isolated. I didn't lock him in the room or anything. I just told him to go upstairs and go to bed. I just go to bed. And he went upstairs and he stayed up there until I hollered at him. And I did eventually holler at him. So the church roof, we're still looking for donations to the Give, Send, Go for the church roof. If you would consider contributing $5, $10, $15 to our church roof replacement, I would really appreciate it. I have to start hunting up some new insurance for us because the insurance company is not going to renew us even if we start work on the roof and get it replaced. Long story, get aggravated, my blood pressure goes up, don't want to get into it. So I'm just not a happy camper about the insurance. We hope to have that roof done before the end of the year. If the weather cooperates, we did have some rain, which would have set our roofing guy back a little bit on his projects, and hopefully we will be able to get that done right away, at least for the sanctuary. I want to share, there is a story. Let me get down to this link. I shared this link with Scully. If you, oh wait, no, I don't want to do this one yet. I want to do this other one. Oh no, yeah, this one. Yeah. This is right. I shared this this link with Scully. If you guys are familiar with John Willis and his SOE tactical site, and you know his friend Scully has his own YouTube. It's Dog Kennel and Little Spoon. And I signed up with his Patreon over there for a couple bucks, I think it was, just to give him a little boost. I don't know if you can, I think you can hear that. I want to read this to you. But anyway, this isn't the right one, Robin. Quit it. That's the wrong one. I want to share this with you. Scully is talking about, so he's taking this military dog kennel or something like that. I don't know, maybe it's not really a dog kennel, maybe a nickname for it. But he's turning this thing into like a small portable camper. And he's doing a series of videos that he's sharing on his YouTube and the Patreon and stuff on his building it out. And the idea, he said, was to take it, on trips. I don't know how far he, like, countrywide, whole U.S., eastern side, western side, north, south, I don't know. But he was asking it. I asked him in a comment, where was he going to go for his first trip? And he said he didn't know. And where would we like to see him go? Talking to the whole group there. I said, well, I'm biased towards West Virginia. And then I come across this link for this story. It's Nightmarish Mummies Attracting Curious to Rural West Virginia. And it's I hadn't thought about this in ages until I saw this story pop up the other day. And it's out of Philippi, West Virginia. And that's quite a ways from me, so it's not like it's someplace I'm going to hop up there. But I did share this link with him, with Scully, in his Patreon group, as an idea of a place to come to West Virginia to see. And if you're a fan of cryptids and the spookies and the uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Folk tales and things like that, this is one for you. Although these things do exist. And the story comes from the West Virginia Explorer. The link is down in the description below. So it goes, Philippi, West Virginia, stored for years in an old barn, the creations of a rural mad scientist. The hardened cadavers known as the Philippi mummies are as grotesque as anything you might imagine, and they're attracting tourists to this quiet river town in the shadow of the Allegheny Mountains. Says everything you've heard about them, it might all be true, says Ed Larry, curator of the Philippi Visitor Center and Museum. Though the full tale is stranger than you might expect, the town of nearly 2,500 residents may be best known as the site of the first land action of the Civil War, but the internet has propelled the fame of the ghoulish bodies far beyond that which anyone expected. Leading visitors into a small room in the corner of the museum, staff at first remain quiet, allowing the curious to consider what they're seeing. Two pale figures, smaller perhaps than might be expected, lay draped in red damask in rustic coffins. Their expressions could be regarded as pained or peaceful, depending on the light and the observer. Arms at their sides or hands crossed protectively over their abdomens, ironically the region into which the secret fluid used in the bizarre mummification project was introduced. Both were women, former residents of the Hospital for the Insane, as it was then known, at Weston. The younger, in her 20s, had died during childbirth. The older had died of natural causes in her 40s. Both passed away without known relatives. Ed Larry says a letter found in the pocket of the younger, who had requested that her body be returned home for burial, though it was not to be her fate. Instead, the asylum had been persuaded by an eccentric farmer and historian, Graham Hamrick, to provide the bodies for a series of macabre experiments. Hamrick was convinced that he had discovered a method of embalming or mummification based on passages from the Bible. His first experiment was performed on the severed head of an African American male that had been set on its neck in a pan of the embalming solution. Whatever the method, the ingredients were easy to come by, according to an unknown author cited in a brochure now provided at the museum. The only secret of the wonderful embalming method is that his liquid, a portion of which is made by herbs gathered by him in the mountains, kill the germs of decomposition in the flesh or whatever it's applied to. According to the same source, embalmed squirrels, birds, and a snake were positioned in lifelike poses around the farmhouse, and Mrs. Hamrick would often display what would appear to be a piece of shoe leather, which she explained, this is the blood of a human being prepared by Father, talking about Mr. Hamrick, years ago, which has remained in this condition ever since. Historian Jim Comstock, who had the celebrated mummies removed from the barn and displayed at the West Virginia Centennial Exposition in 1963, combed the region for tales of Hamrick, who took his secrets to the grave in 1899. It seemed that Hamrick believed the embalming fluid would be drawn up into the tissue due to the influence of an everlasting drive, which the embalmer believed remained in the organic matter even after it was dead. Hamrick's method met with success and was repeated on an arm, then in 1888 on a deceased newborn, and the two female subjects now on display. According to a history of Barber County, published in 1968, Hamrick applied for a patent and was at first rejected as no authority could believe his formula as described, could produce the claimed results, so he traveled to Washington, D.C. to demonstrate his method and provide the documentation. Though his patent was accepted, he declined to pursue the matter further. In 1891, he was awarded a bronze medal by the Paris Inventors Academy of France and was later awarded a gold medal, though he declined to profit off his work or share the formula. As he drew near the end of his life, he prepared embalming fluid for his body and instructed his friends how to use it, according to the 1968 account. However, he was interred at the St. Mary's Chapel Cemetery north of Philippi after a battle with tuberculosis, and no account of his special embalming exists. The cadavers were afterward passed to the Byers family of Charleston, who have loaned them to the museum but have decided not to allow the cadavers to be tested, preferring that they be allowed to rest in peace. Unfortunately, during a torrential flood in 1985, all remains but the two female cadavers were washed away, and the two that survived lost their hair but remained in remarkable condition. Though historians and journalists have repeatedly revisited the mummy's story over the last century, Ed Larry says the internet and television programs have allowed word of their origins to spread. We now have more people coming to the museum than ever, and their donations have helped the museum and Philippi greatly. The museum's open from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday and Saturday, and 1 to 5 on Sunday or by appointment. So yeah, I'm going to see if I can. All right, that's not good. That's not good. See if I can share this with you and let you see. Share screen. Oh, Hi, Dixon. I am trying to share this. Here we go. How are you doing over there today? So here is, hopefully you can see this okay. Here is one of the two mummies in the casket. I don't know if it's the original casket or not. I guess it would be. And that's the damask that it was talking about. A little damage around here, around the wrist. I don't know if that's just aging of the corpse. It kind of looks like, this kind of looks like bone to me, but it's not, it can't be very. Let me see if I can show you this one too. See, this picture doesn't come out very good of the hands because it pixelates and stuff. I doubt that that's a better picture. This is a different mummy. I think this is the older one. The knees look like they were very arthritic. The older one died, I think they said died of natural causes, and then the younger one died in childbirth. So, I mean, this is kind of freaky. It really is kind of freaky. Can you imagine coming up and creating an embalming fluid that, I mean, these folks are exposed to the air. They're not even in sealed coffins. With did I stop the presenting? I think I did turn that off, didn't I? With Scully and oh, did it come back to me? I think it did. To see again, bring him to West Virginia, and you guys too. You guys can come to West Virginia too. Love to have you. Love to have you come and visit, and obviously swing by here on your way. come and stay with us here. So that was a fun little story. And we have a couple of different, I mean, we've got a few haunted stories. There's the West Virginia monster out at Flatwoods. There's Mothman. Now there is a picture of not a picture. There's a stainless steel statue of Mothman over in Mason County that just, you put a human head on him, buns of steel, baby. Good looking fella there. So we have a few things like that here in the state, and tourism being what tourism is, every now and again they'll capitalize on that, and some small communities will get some publicity and some tax dollars. Well, one of the primary things I wanted to talk with you guys about today was another story that I came across, and it's the one, oh, I think I closed that window. Or that tab, I should say. It has to do with the government and EMP drone swarms. And I'm going to try to stop this audio. Yeah, because this is from Newsmax, and I'm kind of skeptical of Newsmax. Excuse me. For a lot of things. I mean, it's really hard to find, in my opinion, and you can share with me if you like your views on this. It's hard to find a centralized news source that doesn't go off in the National Enquirer zone. And for those of you of a certain age, you know that the National Enquirer, I don't even know if it's still printed, was a tabloid publication, and they would print these fanciful stories like Bat Boy and Mothman and things like that, as if they were real news stories. But interspersed in there, you would find a few legitimate news stories that carried weight. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky story actually got traction from, may not have been the National Enquirer itself, but it was one of those type of tabloid magazines. And then it was picked up by some of the bigger news organizations. And OAN, Newsmax, Fox News, all those right wings are fine. And all the left wings, the CNNs, the MSNBC, fine. Do what you guys want to do. I just kind of need something that's real. And knowing that the internet is a place where you can just throw anything out there, and if enough people believe it, they'll spread it. Doesn't mean it's true. But anyway, this is a story out of Newsmax that I saw yesterday, and it says the Pentagon, United States Pentagon, eyes EMP to thwart drone swarms. And EMP is electromagnetic pulse. And this is how the story goes. And the link is also in the description to this story. The Pentagon is eyeing the use of electromagnetic pulse weapons to thwart drone or unmanned aerial vehicle attacks. The Air Force is asking industry leaders if such a weapon system can be built or already exists to take out small drones or unmanned aircraft vehicles. According to sam.gov, and I'm familiar with sam.gov, and just that's a whole different topic for another day. A description for one government contract mentions that Air Force Research Laboratories is conducting market research to seek information from industry on the landscape of research and development for available electronic pulse solutions electromagnetic pulse solutions, sorry, need my glasses on, towards countering multiple unmanned aircraft systems. While the contract calls for how an EMP can be used in a defensive capacity against drones, according to a report by the Washington Examiner on Monday, several U.S. adversaries already have an offensive EMP attack plan. These plans rely on nuclear explosions in the atmosphere, targeting electric grids. In response to this, under the direction of former President Donald Trump, the U.S. began a program to harden grids on some military bases against such an attack. So, SAM.gov is as a site where the short version is where the government posts opportunities for contractors to bid on projects. That's the short version. So if you create EMP programs that will take down drones, hey, we're looking for that. Put in your bid. You know, here's the specs we want you to meet. How much? I mean, it's a thing. It's a real thing. My thing about this is the United there's been people in the self-reliance communities and the prepper communities and stuff who we've been talking about EMPs for, when I say we broadly, I'm not really well versed on them, so I don't talk a lot about them, but we've been talking about EMPs for a long time and we've been laughed at, you know. And so here we have the United States government, and apparently starting under the former president, looking into using EMPs to down large numbers of drones. So, if in my mind, here's what I imagined. You can tell me if you think I'm insane or not, which in my mind I'm imagining a group of drones not unlike a flock of birds, like geese. You have 10, 12 geese at a time. You may have 10, 12 drones at a time coming to take on, and we see these drones attacking our Navy and some of our military over in the Middle East and down around the darn it, which canal is that? Done forgot. But down in the seas down around India, down around Africa, where the shipping lanes are, these drones are attacking our military, attacking our Navy. And apparently, at least as far back as the former president, the previous administration, our government knew this was an issue and started looking for alternatives or ways to take down these drones. If there is can I just say squadron? I don't know if that's the right phrase, but that's what comes to my brain, of drones coming at a base or something in the United States or a United States territory, where you can what's the word I'm looking for? Launch a weapon, a nuclear type weapon that's going to explode above these things and send the electromagnetic waves down and take these drones out. They'll take out your car. They'll take out our electric network, our grid. They'll take out everything. If it's got a computer chip in it, it's going to take it out. Now, there are companies, and there's a few that are well advertised and shared in some of the communities that we're involved in, that have devices that can help prevent your home or your vehicle from being adversely affected by these EMPs. I guess it would work at the level that the government's thinking. I don't know enough about the strength of an EMP to know whether EMP Shield, for example, is one brand, would be able to stop that. Be an interesting conversation to have. Can it work? Can it stop that kind of damage? But in the bigger picture, what I wanted to talk about today was our government, the United States government, rightly or wrongly, is considering contracting for a weapon that will use this EMP, the electromagnetic pulse, to take out unmanned aircraft systems. What could go wrong? Everything. Everything can go wrong. We have, and I don't know if there's a right side or wrong side to this, because obviously if we're having these drones or unmanned aircraft systems taking out our military in little pot shots here and there, the potential for larger mechanized aircraft, unmanned aircraft is possible. We have unmanned rockets, for heaven's sakes. Why wouldn't we have unmanned drones and planes and such things? And our technology has already been stolen by other countries, maybe even given away to other countries. What are we looking at here, and how can we be ready? And I'm not trying to say, oh my gosh, dig your basements and lead line your houses and stuff like that. I'm not trying to panic. I just kind of want to open a discussion about, what does this look like? What does this look like in 10 years? What does it look like in 2 years? If this reporting is correct, and the Pentagon is and it's out there. Once you put it out for bid, it's out there. And obviously Newsmax has come across this and is reporting on it. And so it's out there, not just for you and I. The whole entire world is looking at this now and saying, hey, look what the US government's doing. Are they laughing and saying too little too late because, the Chinese drone has already floated across the United States, balloon style? Or are they thinking, uh-oh, they're on to us? I don't know. I don't have the answer. But I can tell you this, it's worrisome. It is worrisome. The United States government may have good intentions, but they don't necessarily have the best track record for their good intentions. And I don't like what this report is saying. I really don't. I don't like what it's saying, what its implications could be. If you get into, we have been lucky, I believe, that the world has not been destroyed by nuclear weapons, that humans and governments have been restrained in their use of nuclear weapons because they know what's going to happen. If we get into a tit for tat with another country, we even if we survive for a short term, even if everything is not destroyed, the fallout, the contaminations will end up killing, all of us. There won't be enough medication to prevent us all from dying. An EMP can do the same thing, because an EMP can take out not only the electric grid, it can take out your aviation, it can take out your automation, it can take out your locomotion, it can take out your vehicles, your trucks. Everything stops because the circuitry's been fried. I'll probably be okay for a long time, but someplace like New York City, where people are living on 12th and 13th floors, your elevators are going to be shot and you're not going to be able to get out of there. Your electrical cars, your electric cook stove, your electric heat, all of these things that your government is trying to tell you you got to have, it's got to be electric. Your 15-minute cities, you're just really gonna be, it's just gonna be not good. I don't want to live in a place where I have to go use an elevator to get to my home. Okay, I don't want to I don't want to do that. I in And even at that, even if you don't, let's say the EMP goes off near here where I'm at, because I'm near chemical plants, I'm near railroad marshaling yards, I'm near coal mines, I'm near timber, coal and timber and natural gas, chemicals. And let's say the EMP goes off over West Virginia and takes out all of these things. I still can't walk up to Walmart and buy anything because they're going to be shut down. Anything that needs refrigerated in Walmart is going to be ruined. Probably the generators, if they have them, are not going to work because generators aren't strictly mechanical anymore. It's just going. This is a worrisome story that I'm seeing, and I just, it really concerns me. It really concerns me. So I'd love to hear what you think. If you think I'm just off my rails on this, if I might be close to right, have you seen other stories on this particular? Now we've talked, the EMP stories are out there, the potential for them, but I mean something along this lines. Have you seen a story like this? This story is from yesterday, Monday, December the 11th, 2023. So again, the link is below, but there are a couple of other stories linked to this one. It says A Tale of China, EMP and Transformers, America's Achilles heel, cyber war coming with Russia, 50 states will have to fight. I'm not going to click on those links today. I may look at them later, but this is more than enough for me today in one story. I'm sitting here, like I said earlier, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? Everything can go wrong. Everything could go wrong. So I don't know. I'm just, that bothers me. That bothers me. These things, well, I'll leave it at that. You guys can share with me what you think. Oh my gosh. Merry Christmas, right? Merry Christmas. Oh, all right. So there's that. I clunked my way through that. Harvest Guard. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Harvest Guard. I didn't bring my card down. I was going to bring it down and show it to you. I have purchased a number of the Harvest Guard. Now, not Harvest Right. We're not talking about the freeze dryer, but Harvest Guard reusable canning seals and lids. And I have begun learning to use them because they're a little tougher. They require a few extra steps, but they are, again, reusable up to 7 times per seal. And I purchased those with the idea that I wanted to learn to use them to cut back on the disposable made in China stuff. I'm not so sure that's going to matter. But I am trying to learn to use those. And I'm really interested in, if you have used, whether it be Harvest Guard or another brand of reusable lids and seals, what your experiences have been. Now, I have done a video. I recorded just jarring up and using my steam canner jars of water, pints of water, to learn to use the seals in the lids, because there's some extra steps. So you heat the seals, you put them on the hot jar, you put the lid on, and you crank it. You don't crank it all the way down. You leave it just a little bit, and then you process. And then when you take them out of whatever you're doing, whether you're steam canning or water bath canning or pressure canning, when you first take them out, you tighten them up before you set them out to cool. So there's extra steps, but these things are reusable. And so they would save you money in the long run. So I do have a video. I'm trying to get it finished processing today and have it up maybe by Saturday for everybody to see. And it's just using my steam canner. But I'm going to probably do one. Well, I know I'll do one with the pressure canner. But I'm interested to know whether you have used these or not, and what your experience has been. Whether you enjoyed using them, whether you had a high failure rate. I will tell you, I did have a failure rate this morning when I went back and checked them, and I'll go into that in the video. But it's user error, I'm sure. I went back and read the instruction card again. I'm pretty sure I did everything correctly, but maybe not. And so I will reprocess and do this again. And until I am assured that I'm not having a failure rate, I can use each of those seals 6 more times, and I'll do that. And I'll do that until I get it right. So I am interested in hearing what you have to say about using those type of canning lids and rings, or lids and, I keep saying rings, but it's seals. I tell you what, when I still have a stash of Orchard Road lids, and I'm going to tell you, those puppies would pop and scare the pants off of you, and I love those. And just as the Rona kicked off, it got hard to get the materials, and Orchard Road, as far as I'm aware, has never recovered, and they closed down shop. There is a company called 4Jars that several of the canning groups are really excited about. They're an American company, but their lids are still made in China, and the materials are sourced in China. I understand they're trying to move manufacturing to the United States, but that's going to be a long process. There is a brand called Sure, S-U-R-E. No, it's just Sure, S-U-R. There's no E on it. That I have a few of, but I haven't used them yet. And if you have used those or other brands of canning lids, I'd love to hear what you think of those. If you have a favorite, Ball has fallen out of favor with a lot of folks because during the height of the Rona, they were not able to keep up production. And there were some quality issues with Ball. The seal around the lids seemed to be thinner, maybe, and not quite as dependable for a good seal by people who are expert canners. And I'm thinking that they resolved that, but a lot of people fell away from Ball lids because of how things unfolded during the dark times. But I still have my Orchard Roads. I will use on meat. I use those on meat. Man, you about wet yourself when those things pop. It makes you jump. It's not a little tink, it's a pow. They were really good. We're winding down the end of the year, and I'm trying to gear up, trying to get a little better of a schedule planned, topics planned for the 2024 calendar year. I'd love, if there's something you'd like to hear me discuss, I'd love to know so that I can get that scheduled. I am reaching out to some other podcasters to potentially get some interviews set up. I do have some emails to respond to on those and try to get those lined out. If there's a particular topic that you'd like me to find someone to talk about, I'll see what I can do. Love to be able to do that and help you out that way. Oh, let's see what else. I think we're just about finished up, and we're just almost finished. A few minutes left to go. I like to keep right at an hour for those of you guys who are new. Oh, turkey prices. Let me just touch on that real quick. Like I said last week, I was able to get frozen butterball turkeys for 50 cents a pound. I did check the app on my phone for Walmart. I do not see those turkeys again this year. Well, not this year, but today. Let me go back in real quick. And um, it's possible, I guess, that they could have reloaded, but I kind of doubt it. Turkey. Whole turkey. I do not, everything that comes up on my app for Walmart. Now, then obviously, Walmart's not the only place to shop. For Butterball frozen turkey is coming up as unavailable. I do see a honeysuckle white frozen bone-in turkey breast, 3 to 9 pounds, $15. So a three pound, $15, $2.58 a pound. It's listing here. A Butterball frozen boneless turkey breast, $4.57 a pound. Shady Brook Farms frozen whole turkey, no antibiotics ever, 10 to 17 pounds is $1.98 a pound. That's still less than ground beef, so that's under $2 a pound. Whole turkey dinners. Jennie-O oven ready boneless turkey breast, $5.94 a pound. Sam's Club whole Sam's Club Choice Hickory Smoked Young Turkey is now this is a smoked one. It's $3.98 a pound. And so it doesn't improve. So I don't know if you go to the store itself and go in, if you're going to find that there are still some of the 50 cent a pound turkeys in. I hope you were able to get a hold of one. If not, I hope you will take advantage of some of the low prices that are coming up. Some of these are still fairly low. Turkey under the cost of ground beef is a win. Ground beef with high fat content, you want the turkey is better for you. Now, I get that some of you guys that are on keto, or not keto, but carnivore diet stuff, you want all this fat in your, okay, fine, I get it. The rest of us, not so much. But look for the video that I did on cutting up whole turkeys. If you've never cut them, it also helps you with chicken. Obviously, turkey's much bigger. You can see it a lot easier. Birds are birds. You're going to cut them up the same way. So, if you've gotten this far, thank you. Thank you for hanging in there. And I hope you will like and subscribe and share the broadcast today on whatever platform you're listening or watching. Whatever the options are for liking and sharing and subscribing, I hope you will take advantage of that. And I hope you're able to find something to think about today and get a little good information as well. We'll finish up today there. Be sure and go to Holstein, or go to robinholstein.com. Look for Holstein House on the menu if you're traveling to or through West Virginia along the West Virginia Turnpike. You need a spot to stop for the night. We'd be glad to have you, or 2 nights if you'd like to stay, or a couple more nights if you'd like. If the calendar's open, you're more than welcome to book the room. We prefer that you direct book, but we do take Airbnb. And if you need to reach out to me, you can go to robinholstein.com as well and go to the contacts page. There you'll find a list of all of the social media platforms that I have accounts for, and a contact page where you can reach out and send a message to me. Well, with that, my friends, we're going to call it. And I'm so glad that you came and you spent some time with me. And we hope that you'll come back again really soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. So there you have it. Post your comments, do all that boosting, liking, sharing, thumbs up, and stuff that helps spread the word and poke the algorithms. Follow me on most of the big social media platforms and look for my name, Robin Holstein, or Holstein House. Till next time, bye-bye.